everyone. Thank you for joining me today, and thank you for listening to my speech. I hope that you not only appreciate the report I have prepared today, but that you gain some crucial knowledge, some testimony within. Everywhere we look, there are dreadful and shocking death occurrences. We see it all around us. Outrageous breaking newscasts or bold-lettered front-page articles describing terrible and heart-gripping events that steal away innocent lives daily. From natural disasters to gory homicides, death seems to conquer even the strongest and most brave-hearted of us all. Though somehow we rarely take the time to consider the fact that even something as simple as the inability to swim can cause just as much heartache to the families and loved ones of those citizens whose lives are stripped away from them by our own water sources. It was a beautiful day like any other we have experienced this past week. For the victim, the sunny day suddenly twisted into a gloomy and disastrous one. Saturday, May 7th, Saul Cardenas Leon was reported dead by the gripping hands of Mother Nature. Like so many of us, this 30-year-old man who resided in Putnam County, Georgia, and worked at Cuskawilla Golf Resort loved to fish. He and his cousin decided to take advantage of the pleasant weather with a leisurely fishing trip to the Sinclair Dam. Everything was going great until the time arose for their departure. While gathering their fishing equipment, Saul lost his footing and fell into the water. The strong current of the Sinclair Dam River rapidly overtaking him. Being unable to swim, panic quickly swept through the young man's mind and body, causing him to react in a way that did not say, "How do I extract myself from this situation?" but instead responded in a way that said, "Oh no, I'm going to die." Flailing around like a fish out of water, Saul began to promptly sink. By this time, Cardenas Leon's cousin had rushed to the edge of the bank when one of his closest family members had slipped into the water and was now facing certain death. Not knowing the techniques of swimming himself, the distraught cousin resorted to the only solution he knew, extending a lengthy branch into the water toward his drowning cousin. At one point, Cardenas Leon's salvation seemed all but too close, as his cousin attempted to extract him from the water. Just as the forceful current swept him out of his cousin's grasp and further down the river. All of his efforts deemed futile when Saul Cardenas Leon's life was cut short. As his last hope of living slowly slipped away from him, the exasperated man took in what he believed was one of his last living breaths, but in turn became the breath of death. As water intruded his body, flooding his lungs, he no longer fought for life, for he knew he had reached the point of drowning. The current of the Sinclair Dam had now flushed him out of sight into the depths of the raging waters. The Millersville Police Department received a call in regards to the accidental drowning around 4:45 that evening. After interviewing the victim's cousin, officers began their desperate and lengthy search for the missing body. The Millersville Fire Department soon joined in efforts to recover the missing person. Seeing as the task can sometimes take hours, even days, a sonar search was being prepared by the Georgia Department of Natural Resources when a notice was given that the Millersville Fire Department had found a body whose accompanying identification card fit the description of the missing person. He had been found at last. Upon hearing the heartbreaking news that one of the business's hardest working employees would not be returning to work due to the terrible freak accident, the administration of Tuscaloosa formed a donation fund that would assist the family of Cardenas Leon in returning the body back to his parents who reside in Mexico for proper burial with the former generations of the deceased. Knowing the heartache and grief this terrible accident had caused his family, numerous people within the company have donated hundreds of dollars towards the cause. The total amount received thus far is well close to $2,000. However, with the price of the moving costing nearly $6,500, there is still a long way to go before the departure can take place. Tuscaloosa's Human Resource Director is strongly urging the company's partners to donate a large sum that would compensate for the bulk of the needed funds. Not knowing how utterly devastating this event has been for not only the victim's family and friends, but also for the co-workers and administration of his place of employment, I cannot stress enough the importance of water safety and awareness. Whether you know how to swim or not, water sources are forever unpredictable. Therefore, utmost precautions should always be taken when engaging in any water activity or one in the close vicinity of any water source. Not at all saying that there is anything wrong with or embarrassing about not being able to swim. I must advise that if you cannot swim and you know you will be around a river, pond, lake, swimming pool, ocean, or any other means of water, you should always be accompanied by someone who can, in the case that an accident should occur. The incident that I have reported today is a prime example of why I warn everyone to be ever so careful and cautious. For Mother Nature is not only unpredictable, but she is also very unforgiving. Thank you.